people. Good evening. Welcome to Reaching Out with Eddie. My guest today is no one but Richard is here. Richard, how you doing?
Real good.
Well, Richard, you taking notes again. What you got on that tablet?
Well, it's just about us. If we don't like our result that we are in, you got to change. We don't like our results that we are in. We got to change our approach. And one other thing is, we're great copycatters, but we're not copycatting for the right reason for us to be built up.
And that is so true. Folks, the title of my show today is One Set of Rules. And the reason why I picked that is that we need one set of rules for everybody. See, the rules are there and then the law is there. But what's going on is that you have a different set of rules where people are being treated different. And we just do not need that anymore. It has not worked for us, and it hadn't gotten us anywhere, Richard. Kind of like we're like not doing well as a city.
Yeah.
With high crime, like no job is... It's so poverty because of the level that we are economically. Free lunch is free. Lunch is free at all public schools in Meridian. At Meridian Public School, no one has to pay for the lunch that goes to the school system. Don't even have to fill out a form, Dice, man. How you doing, Dice?
Good, bro.
Man, you know, I heard over the weekend that Dan Tubbs had succumbed, and I just want to extend my condolences to that family. As a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, it was Dan Tubbs' sister that was married to my son, you know, my stepson, that was killed, you know, Jericho Clark, yeah. Really? So this family's getting ready to go through it again, so I want to extend my condolences to the Tubbs family and anybody else that lost someone.
Yeah, we lost a classmate of mine, Lewis Cole, from right there in Reese Court. If you know Chanel does hair.
Yeah.
She had a brother, Danica, died a few years ago. But we lost Lewis Cole too. So condolences to him.
To that family too. Folks, we need a set of rules for everyone. And I want to talk about a couple of things. I had a letter here that I'm going to read to you. You know, I talked about, you know, the people from jail start reaching out to me and asking for my help. And so the person did go back to court. One of the individuals did go to court, and of course they had told him, you know, I told you about Judge Bailey switching out with Judge Wright, and Judge Wright calling him into the room. Well, and I didn't pronounce, I think I pronounced his name Shalon or Shalan, but his name is Shaylon Graham. Anyway, he did go to court, and they haven't lowered his bond, Richard, even though they said. And one of the things that I wanted to point out that I'm told is that the victim that he's charged with aggravating assault name is Kobe Sheffield, and Kobe Sheffield, now it doesn't minimize when the law is broken, the law is broken.
Yeah.
The fact that Kobe Sheffield himself has 2 aggravated assault charges, that he's been picked up by the feds and is no longer in the system, and also this same person was arrested for shooting up on North Hill Street with an AK-47, and he got the same thing, felon with a handgun, where they got him on video. But this person here, Shaylon Graham, was told by the judge that they was going to indict him in next month. So now here's my problem with all of this, folks. How is it that a sitting judge going to tell a defendant that he's going to be indicted next month? See, so how can he get a fair trial in that courtroom? How can he? See, the process, folks, is that you're arrested. You have a right to a preliminary hearing. And during that preliminary hearing, if it's decided that there's a probable cause, then you'll be bound over to the grand jury, and then the grand jury has to listen at it. And if they make a determination based on the evidence that's presented by the ADA or the district attorney, then they will set trial. But the judge already told them as if he already know. So how can the judge know this? Now, you understand, I explained to you folks that this guy here he has evidence of where he was, and I had it twisted last week. I said he's a short person, short like me, but the person that committed the robbery you could see is about 6'3" or 6'4", and clearly this person told me, their family told me, he's able to call me from the jail. You know, the inmates can't call. He does not have a phone. He called. It was a prepaid call. He called and he told me that during his preliminary hearing, he went to the back and looked at it. And then Robert Jones was the judge then, folks, and said that when he went to the back and saw that it was not him, the ADA, nobody would even let them play that. And this is crucial evidence that they should have been able to look at, and the robbery charge could have been dropped then. And so you have a situation where a person is being charged with armed robbery. The person is charged with armed robbery, Joe Peters, no longer with the Meridian Police Department for whatever reason. So now that case, if he's the investigator of this case, how can someone else present this case and they didn't do the investigation on that case? Because when a person do an investigation on a case, they swear, I know what they saying, they can go and get him. No. I'm sure that the circumstances surrounding Joe Peters leaving the city of Meridian, like all the other cops, they're upset with all the cronyism, all the corruption, all that not being promoted, not being treated fairly, doing things such as solving cases and not getting rewarded for that. And so this here continues to goes on. So when you have all these things going on, at some point in time, corruption has to end. It's got to end, Richard. It's got to end. We keep doing the same thing over and over again, and we want a better results. We want this city to be better. And Richard, I tell you, I heard a video today, and Dustin, Judge Markham, it does not leave you in a favorable light. It does not. Now, I'm not going to, again, I'm going to give you the opportunity to get your feet wet. You're just getting in there doing your job. But it's almost as if that you change the players out. But things remain the same. At some point in time, it's insanity when you continue to lose your population in the city, continue to get lower and lower. White folks continue to leave the city in droves. And black folks continue to go to jail, doesn't have jobs, doesn't have anything to do here, and we keep changing our administrations. At some point in time, Richard, folks going to have to start voting, just like you said. A lot of the people that are complaining just does not vote. They don't vote.
Yeah. A lot of time you got to start doing things for yourself the right way, because if you don't get things done for yourself, it will not be done. Because once you get people in position that will help you, seem like everybody want to turn against those people. And it's try to make them shut up. Don't tell them what they can do to help themselves. And that's what you always have had in a situation like this in this city. I've been through this kind of stuff before with the city councils myself.
And you know what, Richard? From what this guy is telling me, Shaylin Graham is telling me, no witnesses. I know factually that the investigator, Joseph Peters, is no longer with the Meridian Police Department. And then if you don't have any witness and then he has evidence that he did not commit the robbery, how is it that we live in a community where everybody's just hell-bent on getting convictions, hook or crook? Doesn't matter as long as it's a black victim. And then one common thread in this is that the female that initiated this charge is a white female. And the same with Kyle Rush. And I'm going to read a letter that I got. Ain't doing anything illegal, folks, and they're not doing anything illegal. They have a right to fight their case and let you guys know what's going on, because Meridian Star and WTOK is not going to do it. I talked to Matt with Meridian Star and made him aware of what was going on with Scott Solid. He wrote everything down. Have you seen anything on it? No, because they're part of the problem, man. I don't watch WTOK and I don't buy Meridian Star newspaper. I'm not going to enable people to continue to do the wrong thing. I'm just not going to buy it. But Richard, it's just I want to read this letter here. I see a picture. Somebody sent me a picture of Kathy Wilson on the Civil Service Board. I want to welcome Kathy to the Civil Service Board. One thing I do know is that she loves her community. She's going to do a good job. She'll make an excellent commissioner. But I like to say this about Kathy. Again, they got it wrong. Hell, if Jimmy should have did anything, he should have made Tim Miller a Civil Service Commissioner and made Kathy your CAO. I'm just telling you the truth. We keep taking stellar talent. You seen the bill? God done showed them what happened when you have unqualified, untrained people running something. It tears the building down. Look at this city. Look at it, Richard. Yeah, they keep doing the same exact thing. They don't take the most qualified person and put them where they need to be. Kathy needs to be the superintendent, or she need to be the CAO.
They do this for their own personal gain.
Well, I know she'll do a good job. Again, you don't have her in the right place, Jimmy. You do not have her in the right place. all this talent. She was born and raised here, Jimmy. She was born and raised here. Grew up on 9th Avenue. From a good family. That's Emma Barfield's sister-in-law. Robert Lee Barfield is her older brother. I don't know Miss Nays' name, but it's Miss Nays, boy, if I get out of line, she ain't gonna let me, she gonna let me know it. How you doing, Miss Nays? I know she watching. But anyway, I want to point out, folks, I talked about Scott Solid, folks. You people just really don't know how bad this is. Scott Solid been issuing, he's been issuing permits to a person by the name of Shoemake. So I'm asking Dwayne Davis, I'm asking Joe Norwood Jr., I'm asking Ramonda Walker, I'm asking Tybell Lindsay, and I'm asking you too, George Thomas. You guys need to initiate an investigation into community development. And the reason why you need to do that, because you got Scott Solid. I told you, I went before the council and told you he was a racist. He's always, y'all know that the person that owned that building down there on Front Street, that they've been working on that building for 2 months without a permit or a license. Without a permit or a license. Now, Scott Solid allowed for them to do that, folks. But not only that, anytime you're going to do something and tear a building down, especially downtown, you have to inform Public Works. And you have to let Public Works come in and do a site evaluation to determine whether or not it's safe to tear that building down. If you tear that building down, what kind of special things need to be done in order to ensure that you don't tear anything else, or like knocking out power like these people did. They've been working on that for 2 months, folks, and I'm fixing to give you the person names that his name is Tim Hester. He owns that building where the building was being torn down. And Scott Solid, this is a white male, and also Shoemake is a white male. Now we know when the guy had to tear down the barbershop on Field Street, Scott Solid gave him Purity hell, gave Carl Clark hell. To this day, Clark still can't build his building because Scott Solid said he can't put one back there. Then he gave Kedrick Morris Purity hell, working on his own property, working on his own things, telling them what they can and cannot do and what they got to do in order to cover his behind, folks. Scott Solid go and issue Tim Hester or whoever the one doing the contractor work, issue him a permit to continue to work on that building, folks. They still don't have insurance. They're not licensed. Still no site evaluation. So this is the kind of thing that pissed me off. That's the reason why I said I don't mind going to get a license if that's what it requires. I don't mind going to get the bond. But I don't want you to have one set of rules for me and my kind and another set of rules. Well, you don't have any rules for your own kind. Your own kind can be a corrupt police officer. You're going to stand by him, hook or crook. Your own kind cannot have a license or bond or insurance, and you're going to still let them do what they want to do. This is the kind of shit that we need to get away from. This is the kind of thing that pissed me the hell off. And here, what's really making all of us look bad, Richard, is the fact that we have a black man in charge. We have black folks that's sitting. So you got black people here, black folks who want to allow for us to do this. So you think we going to give a damn about you? They ain't caring about their own kind.
True.
But you ain't got to care about me and my kind. Care about what's right and what's right under the rules of law.
That's true.
One set of rules for everybody. Take color out of it. Man, this stuff pissed me off. Stephen Red supposed to have been informed on any building being torn downtown. He was not informed. I know what Tubell saying. You hear Tubell talk to me? He said, bro, how you know all this? But I tell you what, when employees are disgruntled, information get out. It's just, am I right or wrong about that?
That's true.
When you're not treating people right. And you're not treating people right. Stephen Red's supposed to have that job. Jimmy Smith, you going to give it to him? You might as well go ahead and give it to him. The man actually can file an EEOC complaint against them right now. Yeah. You take an unqualified, uneducated, racist white man, obvious by everything he do. And let me tell y'all this, is I went down there to get a complaint form. So when I went down there to get my complaint form, this was on a Friday, I guess, whatever day it was, I went to get my complaint form. When I went to get my complaint form, the lady said, I don't know where they at. She said, I'm going to have to talk to I'm going to have to ask Scott where they at. So if he on the phone right now, wait till get on there. I waited there what seemed like an hour. No, I waited there probably about 2 or 3 minutes. And then I said, well, I was going to the city hall anyway so I can get information under, you know, you can get anything dealing with the city.
Yeah, supposed to be.
Under Freedom of Information.
Yes.
So I went there to get that form, and I came back. Scott Solid came out of the back, and he going, yeah, Eddie, what's going on? I said, I'm going to put a complaint against you. Can I tell the truth? I said, I'm going to put a complaint against your ass. That's what I said. I'm just telling y'all the truth. I don't like him. I don't try to sugarcoat it. When y'all catch you doing wrong, I'm going to treat you just like you treat me. When I got caught doing wrong, they put me in jail. When my mama caught me, she whooped my behind.
Yeah.
So when I catch you doing wrong, I'm going to try to do the same thing to you that you're trying to do to me. I'm gonna try to do all I can to try to put you in jail. Scott Solid, you wrong. You a racist and you wrong. And I went off on a tangent then. Let me go back to the conversation. But anyway, he said, I said, I want to complain. He said, we don't have any. Now, I done put a complaint on before because I put one on field before. And of course it was resolved. And but that's okay. I don't need a complaint form. Because I'm going to go before the city council. When I go before the city council, then they don't do that then. I'm going to charge. I give them that 90-day notice again. I'm going to file a lawsuit against the city of Meridian because they discriminate against black citizens. They make black citizens do everything they supposed to do. Nobody should get any kind of special deference based on the color of their skin, the content of their character, or who they know or who they don't know. We got to get away from that here. And that's what we haven't done, Richard. You got Richard?
It's been going ever since I was a child that they do basically what they want to do. They threaten you, things like this, and try to have fear in you not to do what you need to do for yourself. Your Constitution law give you a lot of power, but you got to know how to do it. You got to know what's there. You can put businesses up on your property at your house, but you got to know what you're doing. They make all these laws that go against the Constitution. Constitution make a statement. If any law is made contrary against it, it is no law at all. But these people have been making laws for years and years to get around doing what's right.
That's right. And I want to say this is that I've been writing Shaylin Graham, and he sent his motions. He filed writ of habeas corpus in federal court. And of course, again, he did not allow for the state to do certain things. And so he sent it to me, and I sent it back to him, and I put on legal material. Now, when you put legal material on that, they don't supposed to open it up. They can open it up, I imagine, since Homeland Security. But and it's been a week, and they still haven't given it to him because they know what I do, and they know if something coming from me, I'm trying to help. But they got to stop doing that. Another thing they do, too, and I don't even think this is legal. Every letter that comes into the Lauderdale County Jail, Sheriff Solid copies the letter and keep the original and send the copies to the inmate. I'm told that that's illegal as hell. You can't keep nobody mail, Solid. You're keeping that damn mail. How do we know that what you copy is what it is that was actually sent? How do we know that you ain't taking something out of it and keeping it for yourself? That's illegal as hell, Solid. You got to give them their mail. I'm gonna tell you something. God don't like ugly. Can I speak from a theological perspective for a moment?
True. What you're saying is true. I've been in a situation where I was threatened a certain way. God will put a person down on their back to try to get them to repent. If they don't repent, he will take your life away from you.
And I already know that a lot of you out there that's been getting money any way you can and been in power so long that you power drunk, that you got health issues such as, you just got to be careful with what you do because things have a way of coming back and getting you and have a way of reminding you what you should and should not be doing. But I just say, man, y'all got to have some kind of conscience, man. This white superiority, this white privilege, this stuff got to end at some point of time. And it's sad that we have a majority black administration. What's sad about that, because they can't recognize the injustice that we've suffered all these years and continue to suffer, and that they're in a position to make a difference and can make a real difference, but they choose not to do so. And that's bad. That's not good at all. I'm going to read this letter here, and then we're going to talk about some more things here, but I'm going to read this letter here. This is from an inmate, Lauderdale County Jail. Great Hope, my name is Kyle Rush, and I've been locked up for going on 2 months for felon in possession of a firearm, shooting into a vehicle, and aggravated assault. Manifest extreme indifference to life. Officer Rochester Anderson arrested me and my wife, Christina. She was charged with accessory after the fact, hindering prosecution, first degree. My bail was $1.2 million. Now, hers was $1 million. I got off work around 2:30 to my parents telling me someone was shot in my driveway and my wife was arrested at the time. I worked 2 jobs, one that day of Jolly, I don't know what that, I think I was working with my brother Jeremiah Rush at his car shop, family business in Marion, Mississippi. My parents picked me up and drove me to the police station where my wife Kristen was held after she gave her statement. They let her go and we went home. On Tuesday, 6 in the morning, 4 cops woke me and my wife up, kicking our door in, yelling they had warrants for both our arrests. We complied, and the 4 officers at gunpoint slammed us roughly to the ground, and after put them in handcuffs, and they went through our house, leaving our door wide open. The cops only one I remember name was Detective Anthony. Said, leave the door open. It don't matter. Us begging them, it don't matter. He said, Anderson said, and I'm going to quote, leave the door open, it don't matter. And us, and that's him and his wife, begging them not to leave the door open because they valuable family possession and 2 husky puppies. They said, please close the door. And they did not close the door. See, if you're going to arrest someone, why should you be mean to a person? Why should you demean a person? Why should you do anything like that? That's the reason why we got to get professional officers on board that's not going to allow for that personal emotion. If a person is trained properly, they're definitely not going to act out like that, Richard. They're not going to do it at all. Once at the police station, I tell the cops to Detective Anderson to let us go if he can't show us a warrant. He lost and tell me I'm going to jail for shooting Michael McDonald and my wife is going to jail for assisting me. I asked for the warrant. He said we have to write them up. So they went. So they didn't have a warrant.
They broke the law themselves.
Yeah, they didn't have a warrant. And see, folks, this is what I'm talking about. We got to get away from that. You put people in jail and you court statements from them and all that. We got to get away from that. It ain't helping this community at all. High bonds is not helping this community at all. People still getting shot. People still dying. He said, I refuse to write a statement, and Detective Anderson gets mad saying it don't matter, I'm charging you anyways, even though we don't have a gun or shell casing. All we need is to someone say you was the shooter, and I'll make sure your wife's statement is thrown out or used against you. And he pointed his finger at me and my wife and took us to Kemper jail. Now you see that, folks? You understand what he just said? He said it doesn't matter if we don't have a gun and don't have a gun casing. I'll get your wife's statement thrown out. So what that tell me when he made that statement is that the wife said something that would free him.
Yeah. That
not to indict him, but to free him. Wow, man, this is really, really bad. And I know how you feel. But anyway, so he said, okay, let me go on. We went to court and seen a black judge, some new judge. He set our bail at $1.2 million for me and $1 million for my wife. I gotta say this to you, Dustin. I know they talking about you. Again, I'm just saying that I'm kind of disappointed at that, Richard. I am. Because a $1.2 million bail, when they don't have a gun, they don't have evidence, the only thing you have is an officer statement. Come on, Dustin. Come on. You know your dad was the principal at Carver Middle School forever. That was like a dad to all of us. Come on now. When you went to that school, so you know what it's like. You know your dad loved this community. Come on, man. You can't go in there and do what they want you to do, man. You got to do what's fair. If you don't keep that job and you lose that job, well, man, at least you can say I lost this job because I would not give people high bonds. I would not bound people over to the grand jury, people that there's no evidence that they actually done that. You can't give the police officer a chance to get it right, hook or crook. You can't give those officers opportunity to tell a lie or to coerce a confession or violate people's right in any other kind of way. You got to be on the rule of the law. Now here's the thing. If you there for 6 months, make them 6 months mean something. And don't be there for 4 years and end up leaving just like Robert Jones will leave because we change out this administration, man. We're not asking for any kind of special treatment or anything. We just asking that you guys be fair according to the law. And I'm gonna continue reading it. You got anything to say about that, Richard?
What I want to say is, if you stick with the law and do what's right by the law, everything will work out just right.
Yeah. And he said next week we seen no judge, but I guess the Dustin lowered the bond bail to $447,000 for him and $50,000 for his wife. Now the wife was able to get out of jail, so that's, to me, that's kind of, I don't know, for what she's charged with, for not telling on her husband or for not cooperating or accessory after the fact and hindering prosecution. What they saying when they saying hindering prosecution is what they're saying because you ain't nobody got no duty to tell y'all shit if they ain't a part of it. And then you can't compel a wife to tell on her husband.
Constitution law states that you can claim the Fifth Amendment. You can do that with anytime you want to talk or not talk, in trial or just plain on the streets. You don't have to.
That's right. That's right. And so that's where it in there. So he's still in jail, and what he's stating is that there's no evidence against him or anything like that he was not there, but he's still there on a $500,000 bail. And right now we're going to take the break, and then we'll come back. We're going to read your comments. I got some other things that I want to share with you. Take us a break, guys. Welcome back, folks, to Reaching Out with Eddie. Folks, I wanted to tell you about the Lieutenant Jax had to go to a civil service meeting Monday. And when she went to that meeting, understand, folks, that civil service meetings are closed, open to the public, and they close it up. And so imagine that was to keep people like me out. But either way, I was still able to get certain information. I was told that Mayor Smith was there. And of course, I don't understand why Mayor Smith would have been there. A civil service meeting, unless he was there to throw his weight. Also, the city attorney was there. Why would the city attorney be there when Stephen Wilson is the attorney for the Civil Service Board? Also, the new chief of police was there. I don't know whether she's been sworn in yet, but what I'm told that she don't start. She has not started yet. She doesn't start until Monday. And so all this disturbs me. So again, I'm going to give the new chief of police an opportunity to come on board and do what's fair and what's right by this city and about the Meridian Police Department. But to follow lockstep in place to put some kind of undue, I guess, undue influence on a meeting, clearly, in my opinion, I'm just opinionating now, Richard. I think the reason why Jimmy Smith was there, because Rita Jack keep getting trumped up charges thrown on her. And you know, Chris Reed put some bogus charges on her before he left. And they keep delaying the civil service captain's test. And the reason why they keep delaying it, in my opinion, so they can try to make some of those bogus charges against Lieutenant Jack stick. They don't want someone with, in my opinion, that's honest, somebody that's going to go and straighten up that police department, because if they'd done that, they would have given her that job. Clearly, she's the most qualified person for that job. Yes, Deborah Young is qualified. Yes, she's a black female. But for her to be at that civil service meeting, Richard, that kind of disturbed me. When she was there, I'm told that she was there sitting right next to Patrick Gale. So why would she be sitting there next to Patrick Gale? She's not a police officer unless she's using her weight, her upcoming rank to unduly influence the Civil Service Board. And how about they ask, I think her attorney or Rita may have asked that those bogus charges be dismissed. They put it off. They put it off as opposed to dismissing charges, as opposed to setting the test for the, again, Patrick Gale, I'm told, was caught in a lie. They didn't even want Rita's Lieutenant Jack's husband in, but one of the civil service members came out and got a chair for him to come in there. There's no reason for this to be going on. Jimmy, this is are you person light or are you person heavy? Are you an individual? Come on, Jimmy, I done talked to you before and you done got angry at me. I seen a man sit and tell me, I don't want to talk to you, and you can't make me talk to you. I couldn't do nothing but respect that from you. How is it now is that the same man I saw then is not the same man that I see now? How is that? I see Percy Bland is what I see. I see Percy Bland's influence. I don't see a man that grew up in Meridian struggling in the hood and I used to go to his house and jump on his back. I don't see that person. There's no way you can be that person. You have not removed yourself too far from where you grew up at. You grew up on 11th Avenue. You still live on 11th Avenue, if I'm not mistaken. 11th or 12th is just on a different part of the community, over in the Grand Avenue side, you know, off 34th. Whereas you used to be, your address probably was, let me give it to you, I'm going to give it to you, probably 1804 11th Avenue. Now it's probably 3406 or 3408 11th Avenue. So you still basically in the community, Jimmy. Man, come on, Jimmy, this stuff is not right, and you know Lieutenant Jackson's not going to go away quiet until the night. She's not going to go away without a fight. She's not going to just lay down and die for you. You see that already. So why should you hate her? You have a strong, you married to a strong black lady like that. Karen Smith, we call her Charlene. Strong black woman. When you be mad as hell if somebody try to break her spirit and not treat her fairly. She ain't never been discriminated against. You have the keys right now. Do just like Deborah need to do. Get them voices out of your ear and do what's right and follow the law and go down on the right side of history. You understand saying that, Rich?
I agree with that 100%. Do what's right for the people. That's what you put in position for. You said you wanted to do better. Let's see you do better.
And it ain't too late. This stuff ain't personal. Shoot, we can laugh about this. You know how many years I done jumped on your back? You done gave me a lot of advice when I was when I just got out of jail. It was you that believed in me and gave me advice. And I followed your advice. And when you first ran for office, my sister still have your T-shirt when you ran for mayor the first time. Man, our family always supported you. But we're not in support of what you're doing right now. Man, and this about corruption. It's about these same people. Your salary is not going to change. But what we have to say about you, what we think about you, that's going to change. And you control how we feel about you. You control, Jimmy, you got the key to the store, not Sherry Berry, not Tim Miller. None of those people were voted for. Craig, you don't owe Craig his shit. Send him on down the road. Stephen Redd needs to be in charge. You talking about, I'm talking about he is so passive. I mean, he is passive aggressive. He is so intelligent. I mean, every time I had an issue with the city, it was Stephen Redd that was in the forefront, just like Rita Jackson helped solve that problem. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about made everything okay for everybody.
Yeah.
This is what we need. He knows not only what to do. Scott Solid's just down there trying to enrich himself and letting all his buddy break all the rules. Y'all need to investigate that and need to do something about it. We're going to read them comments. Dice, you ready for them comments?
Yes, sir.
Well, we finna read your comments, folks.
You got Mississippi B Mac.
What up?
I'm sorry.
And my mic up. Mississippi B Mac says same thing as Southeast. I believe it's a grant the county schools wrote. Don't know about the city. Also in prayer for Mr. Palmer's family. May he rest in peace.
To my Jessica?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
Yeah.
I didn't know that either.
You didn't know that?
No.
Okay. Yeah. Just found out yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot about him.
To that family.
Yes.
And what is he alluding to when he said grants?
Maybe it's something you were talking about in the beginning of the show. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Put that back in the comments, Mississippi B Mac, if you can. Mississippi B Mac also says, is Mr. Graham already on paper? Do you know what he's talking about?
Mr. Graham, I don't know. I don't know whether or not he's on paper. I don't think that would make a difference whether or not he's on paper or not. I think he did 6 months for something, But for us being on paper, no, because he didn't say, he has not talked about probation. It's my opinion that he is not. But it wouldn't really matter. What we want is that if we do something, okay, we don't mind being punished. We know black folks are long suffering. We've been suffering for more than 400 years. So we suffering and suffering and suffering, but we're still here. So we don't have a problem with that. What we have a problem with that is that if you arrest me right. And what we want, things can be better. Come on, Jim, you told me out your mouth, and I quote you. You can't sue me for slander on that. Now, first of all, I don't believe them charges they got on you. Come on, Jimmy. Now, if you don't believe those charges, you know how this city works. Why would you come in and continue on with this same corrupt type of administration? It's time to do something about it now.
Okay, and Mr. B. Mac put back in the comments that he was talking about free school lunch. That's what he was referring to.
Oh, it's the same way in the county too?
Grant, I guess so.
No, it has nothing to do with a grant. It has to do with the poverty level of a community. The community is so poverty stricken,
Yeah.
Free lunch is free for everybody. Yeah. If it's a grant, they have, but it has nothing to do with a grant. Okay. Did they hang up?
They did. I put them back up there. Okay, and Chandra Lynch says, hi, everyone.
Hi.
What's up, niece?
Hey there, Ms. Lynch. Jim Myers says, listening in and sharing broadcast.
Thank you, Jim.
Okay. Jim Myrick also says Jimmy Smith has turned the key to the store to Rick Barry.
Yeah. I think what he's saying. It seemed like it. It seemed like he's not running it. He's not running things. And I'm surprised at that, Jimmy. I know one thing. I'm really surprised because I'm mostly surprised that your wife would allow for you to do that because I know her. Maybe she's giving him an opportunity, but she ain't gonna leave him, I know. But I know she's for what's right and no nonsense, and this here ain't right going on here. A strong black lady, strong, and that's some of the things that Kathy been experiencing.
And Mississippi B. Mac says in reference, I guess, to whether he was on paper, he comes back and says, I was talking about him not being able to get a bond.
Oh, the reason why he can't get a bond is because it's excessive. It's too high. That if he did file a lawsuit in federal court, that's what he should have filed on, excessive bail. That's what he should have filed on.
And that's it, bro. The phone lines are open.
Yeah, so Richard, anything you want to say to the people? You know, if anybody want to call in, they can call in. Otherwise, we're gonna be in this show pretty soon.
Until we start working together to change things, it will always still be that way. You got to work together to do what's right. As a group, you need to work hard, real hard, to try to do what's right.
And one thing I want to know is that I really do want to see what the new chief of police is going to do. I really want to see. I ain't gonna say that wasn't a good look, but not to me it wasn't. Wasn't a good look for her or Jimmy to go to the civil service meeting dealing with Rita Jackson. It just wasn't a good look, in my opinion. Okay, we're gonna take this call. Okay, caller, you on the podcast?
Eddie Ho,
Hey,
it's Mississippi B Mac. What's up, man?
what's up, Mississippi B Mac?
I want to know when. Don't you owe me some chicken wings or something? When we gonna go eat?
Hey, you just called me up. You got my phone number, don't you?
Yeah, I got it.
You ain't got enough call, but we'll go eat anytime you want to. I know I ain't gonna out eat you now.
I don't know if I can fit in the front seat of that Corvette. You know, I'm kind of a big fella, but I'll try.
All right, then. Just let me know, all right?
All right, buddy. Enjoy the show.
All right, thank you. All right. You know, I kind of miss Marie. I miss Marie already. Yeah. And I don't know what I believe somebody done told you not to call in. Or you think they done scared Lo? I believe they done scared. No, she ain't scared. I know she ain't scared. Any more comments, we gonna take it home.
No, that's it. You know, Marie most definitely would have been calling by now, man. I went through the wake, and you know, they had a video of her up there talking and everything, man. It was real nice.
Yeah, I know that was just heart-wrenching. It makes me sad to think about her. And even Dan and I had, man, Dan was a soldier too, man. He was I consider him a friend and somebody I trusted, you know.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
friend of mine,
Yeah.
man. Used to chase me through Reese Court.
And Mr. Palmer, he was among the first. His heart was always in the right place. And ain't got nothing bad to say about him.
Right.
If I did, I'm gonna keep it to myself. Nah, just can't beat me. But anyway, Richard, anything you want to say to people before we go? Cause we getting ready to shut it down. Ain't we, Dice, man?
That's it.
I would love to see the people come together as a whole to try to get business for themselves in this city.
Yep, that would be good if we can do that. And just come together in general. I want to thank you guys for listening. Dice, take us home.